and definitely happy to pick up another Lawkeeper. Like, Enchantress is only really relevant if you have like 3 or 4 auras. We could pick up more, theoretically, but we're kind of low on creatures, and Lawkeeper's insane. We do have some late drops, not too many, but we can speed up our deck a little bit by picking up the Rampant Growth. This guy's fine, but don't really see a need to have 2 veterans. I think Rampant Growth is actually fine here. Okay, so we have Sundial the Infinite, which is an interesting card. This is good like if you have, they're trying to like kill your guy with a trick on the stack, you can just end the turn and essentially counter it. The problem is you do end the turn, but it's a very interesting card. I'm not sure exactly how good to think of it. We could also use a Gorger, but I think this is going to table. So I think actually picking up the Sundial here is probably going to be what we're going to do. And we do get past a Stave Off, which I will definitely pick up. Be happy to play. Here we have Sacred Wolf, which is actually quite insane with Destiny and Divine Favor. Hexproof is very good in this format. We have a 3rd Stave Off. Let's see. I think with the enchantments we have, Stave Off is definitely better than Mighty Leap for us. But yeah, so I think that we're going to go ahead and pick up, well, we don't have too much in terms of air defense. I still think a 3rd Stave Off has to be better than Mighty Leap. We're probably only going to play 2 of these Stave Offs, but definitely a very good card here. We do have an Auramancer, and we have 2 hexproof creatures, so Favor is fine. However, I think Crown of Empires is actually a fairly decent card. It's a good aggressive card, so we'll try that out. And now we just cut an early drop here. So the Gorger did table. If we had picked up the other Divine Favor, I might consider picking up the Enchantress here, but as it is, we only have 2, so I think that we're just going to grab the Gorger. And that's pretty much the deck. Alright, so we'll go ahead and build it here. Okay, so here's the deck. Decided to run 2 Stave Off. I don't really think we need 3 main, but it's looking pretty good. I'm actually pretty excited about this. We have 2 hexproof creatures with Angelic Destiny. We have a way to get it back with Auramancer, and Stave Off to protect it, so I'm actually pretty excited about this deck. Let's see, Magic Online says 9-8. And I think with the Warhorse and the Lawkeepers, actually fine with that. So we will see you in round 1. Actually, it looks like we're going to make one more change before submitting. After further consideration, I don't think we need Crown of Empires main. We already have 2 tappers and mana sinks like in Jade Mage. I think actually having the 3rd Stave Off is going to be a little bit better for us, just because we have such powerful cards to protect, and Stave Off is a very, very versatile card, also very cheap. So if we see, for instance, a lot of illusions, we can side into the Crown, but I think that it's probably better off in the sideboard to begin with. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay, here we are in round 1. Now, this is a very aggressive format, so I think it's actually going to be better to play. Well, there is some thought that drawing is a little bit better. You get the extra card. It's hard to get card advantage in this format. So if you have enough early beaters, it's actually could technically be better to draw Um, I think we're going to draw because we do want to see the extra card, and we have enough early game that we can hold off Bloodthirst, hopefully. So we're going to try drawing here. And this hand, we do need more land to have this hand active, but I think this is going to be a good enough hand to keep. We've got both of our colors of mana, and Jade Mage to hold the defense, and hopefully draw into some land for Angelic Destiny. So it looks like our opponent is black something. And if we can draw plains, we should be in a very good place here. Definitely just going to run out the Jade Mage, start making tokens. Hopefully get in some early damage. My guess is our opponent has the 1/1 Bloodthirst Flyer. So, yep. And Dungrove Elder here is a complete beating. Hexproof is always good. If we get the plains next turn, I think are going to have a very hard time losing this game. Yep, and he does have the Dusthunter Bat. Unfortunately, we did not draw white. That's okay. So we'll just bash for 3 and put out the veteran. We could still draw plains pretty much at any point and be just fine. Looks like our opponent is stuck on color, or potentially a monocolor deck. Looks like probably a monocolor deck. Black gets significantly better in this set if you can play it as monocolor, because then you have access to Consume Spirit, and it makes like the Vampire Outcasts easier to cast, for instance. Also, it makes the Drifting Shade much, much better. So we should definitely be on the lookout for one of those. Still just waiting to draw land. Yep. Our opponent could be holding like a Doomblade or another Sorin's Thirst. Either way, we just attack. Possibly like a Ring Flesh, but I'm fine with any of those. And if he wastes his Doomblade on a Lawkeeper, we're just fine. So it looks like he's blue-black, and I guess that was enough. Alright, so against blue-black, we're going to be bringing in Celestial Purge, definitely. Blue is going to have probably more illusions, so I think that Crown of Empires is probably going to get the nod. Cards we could potentially take out. I think that Siege Mastodon is actually kind of weak against this deck. It's slow, it doesn't block flyers, and it's not very game-changing. If it had higher power, I might consider it, but don't think we need it here. Let's see. I think the rest of our deck looks pretty good. Divine Favor is actually pretty good at racing. Can only hit 2 of our guys, and with blue-black, I'm a little tempted to take it out just because we are going to be going up against bounce effects and potentially Doom Blade effects. But I mean, the life gain that it gets you is quite relevant. Yeah. I think actually here, just because there's not too many enchantments in blue-black, I think I'm actually going to cut a stave off. Try that. This is definitely quite a good hand against his deck. Most likely going to be running a lot of flyers. And in this situation, like Divine Favor on Sacred Wolf is going to be excellent. Definitely putting up the white just in case he has the, I think it's Dark Favor on the Tormented Soul. If he ends up playing a Bloodthirsted Bats here, we're definitely going to plummet it, just because we want to just kind of minimize the damage intake. It's certainly possible that he could end up playing a better flyer later, but I think that a 4/4 Wolf is going to be able to take care of most of those, so I think we are just going to plummet just to get the tempo back into our favor. Yeah, and after seeing another Tormented Soul, I'm very happy to have made that decision. At this point, just going to run out the Wolf, put on the Favor next turn, and either play Lawkeeper or leave up Stave Off. And Outcast, definitely not what I want to see here. Yeah, in this case, we definitely play Lawkeeper and then hope to tap down his vampires. First, we're going to go ahead and offer the trade. If he goes for it, Stave Off is going to be a blowout. We could also just sit back and wait for the Stave Off, which is not a bad plan. Honestly, that way we can keep up Stave Off and play Lawkeeper next turn. However, he could just choose to attack us with the Tormented Souls, but I think that's actually fine. I think we just don't want the lifelink to trigger. And it looks like he's content to just go ahead and keep pecking away at us with the Tormented Souls. So hopefully we can thin the deck a little bit, potentially get like Angelic Destiny online.